But I personally don't feel like any form of progression should go unnoticed, because what ends up happening usually is that we get in this routine of grinding and just working towards our specific end goal, whatever version of success that you may want to reach. And we kind of slack off or not really give ourselves credit for everything that we may have overcame up until this point. But it's the small wins that make up the bigger picture. Majority of us aren't just put in a position of success where you're able to skip steps A through C. You got to actually go through the motions. But during that process, along that journey, there's valuable lessons that you learn, and there's things that you should reward yourself for. And I personally used to be like this myself, because I used to work really hard to accomplish certain goals. And along the way, I'm reaching certain milestones, things that I told myself that were going to be very hard to reach, and I'm overcoming them. But rather than giving myself credit for the things that I'm overcoming, I'm just like, oh, I'm not at the finish line yet. I'm not there. It's no point of actually taking this in and being thankful for the things that I've accomplished thus far. I'll wait until I get to the end goal. And then what ended up happening was, when I finally did get to that end goal, I treated it as if it wasn't significant. And as I grew older, I realized that the more that I do this, I'm just selling myself short in terms of my accomplishments. If you treat your accomplishments in life like they're not valuable or worthwhile, then that's exactly what they're going to be. Everything that I didn't necessarily give myself credit for, things that I didn't celebrate when I finally got to that end goal, I pretty much no longer do anymore. I got my barber license. Along the way, I was really just brushing it off. And I feel like what this has to do with is just that feeling of knowing your potential and knowing that you're destined to be great. But just because you know your potential or you want to be somebody that's great in life doesn't mean that you shouldn't celebrate those small accomplishments. This really all ties into you valuing your time. If you're putting your energy and effort into something and you're getting the results that you want, you need to take a step back and appreciate everything that you've accomplished thus far. Yeah, you may not be where you want to be yet. You may not have gotten your degree. You may not be a millionaire or own 10 rental properties, but if you're making those small steps, if you're crossing things off that list to that version of success that you're trying to reach, reward yourself. I feel like it's very important that not only you reward yourself for good behavior, and the same thing applies when it comes to bad behavior. You don't reward yourself if you're not taking care of your business, and there needs to be that direct difference between the two. This makes it a lot easier for you to establish in your mind that when you're putting in work and you're grinding, there is something on the other side of the hardships that you face that is going to be worth it. Whether it's a vacation, whether it's you rewarding yourself or taking yourself out on, a date, whatever the case may be. But I feel like it's very important that you just keep in mind that you're not always going to just reach that version of success that you may want quickly. It takes some people 10, 15 years to get to that point of true success that they've always wanted in life. And just imagine if you were put in that same position and you didn't reward yourself for the small accomplishments along the way. It would be a long, dreadful journey. You probably would quit if you don't give yourself the recognition that you want and show that deep desire and appreciation for everything that you've accomplished thus far. And life is way too short to be brushing off anything that you spend your time doing. Give yourself credit for every accomplishment. And to me, this really just ties into living in the moment, because when you're so focused on the future and what's to come, it's very hard to appreciate the things that you have now. I got a friend who really just motivated me in life overall, just because he's somebody that wakes up and lives each and every last day like it's his last day. And when I'm telling you his last day, I mean like he's going to the movies, he's going to the beach, he's going on adventures, he's actually living. Whereas I was always somebody who was just so stuck and focused on the end goal and trying to grind and trying to stay in the house and do this and research this, which is cool. But just the fact that, I don't want to say I'm wasting time, but we really do need to learn how to have that equal balance and truly learning to live in the moment, because all we do have is this very moment. So if I'm not spending my time, grinding and trying to reach that certain point of success while also living my life, then I'm really just wasting time. I'm really just wasting my youth. And that's one thing that we'll never get back. You can go out and speak to any older person. I know y'all got grandparents or somebody that's older, much more wiser than you are. Ask them what's one thing in life that they wish that they can get back, and I guarantee a lot of them will say that if they can just get certain moments back or time back where they made mistakes, that's something that they would do. So while we're in a position to actually be thankful and to value our time and to really use it in the best way possible. And that's what we need to do. Truly learning how to be thankful for even the small accomplishments, because they make up the bigger picture. I promise you, if you focus less on trying to reach a certain end goal, and this I read this in Atomic Habits, by the way, but if you focus less on the destination itself and focus more so on the steps that are needed to get to a certain point that surrounds that idea of wherever you want to be, it'll be much more worthwhile and easier for you to get there. I feel like what we always do a lot of the times is we say that we want to do something and we set a goal in mind. Okay, I want to be a millionaire. All right, let me work on being a millionaire. So we may save up $10,000 one year, $20,000 the next year, and that feeling of not making significant progress can discourage us because we're not necessarily moving as fast as we would want to move. But if we truly learn how to value each and every small step, eliminating the idea of becoming a millionaire, but just focus on stacking and trying to build our wealth in general, it'll be much more pleasing to us and we'll feel way more thankful for the accomplishments that we are making. Just that idea of saving money in general. And this has happened to me so many times as far as goal setting. And I don't want to necessarily say shooting for the stars, but we should always be realistic. We should always be present and at this very moment. And if you do have to take it small, take it step by step, that is the most realistic way to go about it. But each and every day that you wake up and you make a conscious decision that you're going to go out and make your life better, you are making progress, no matter if it's small or if it's big. But that progress should not go unnoticed. Be thankful for the small things that are eventually going to amount to the bigger picture. Because right now you have this very moment, and appreciating this moment will teach you to appreciate the bigger moments when they do come in the future. And always just keep in mind that God has something in store for you. It may not seem like it's near right now, but I'm here to tell you today that your logic and your plan may be different from God's plan. You may have wished that you've gotten to that point of success way quicker based on the work that you've been putting in, but He's telling you keep going for another 10 more months, or it could be 10 minutes, and you'll reach that point of success that He's always had mapped out for you. But one thing that I know for sure is that you will get rewarded for the work that you're putting in. Do not quit on yourself. Each thing that you've done up until this point to better or to change your life, you will be rewarded for. Because I have never seen any form of hard work go unnoticed if you just continue. If you never quit and you always continue, then you will win. I say this so many times in my videos, and it's probably something that I really do live by, but the only thing that separates a winner from a loser is that a winner just did not quit. For the 1,000th time again, a winner just does not quit. And just that thought alone really just gives me the reassurance that I need to just always keep going, because I know that as long as I don't quit, what else is there for me? What else is there for me on the other side of this form of success that I'm chasing? As long as I don't quit, through hardship, through barrier, you gotta keep going. Through these small wins that you're constantly ignoring, and you're trying to just stay focused on the end goal. Take yourself out of your shoes and really take a step back and realize that there's value in what's going on right now. These are going to amount to the bigger picture and make me and turn me into the person that I need to be. Be thankful for where you're at, because I promise you, as long as you keep going, you will not always be in this current position that you're in right now. As long as you see the value and the deep appreciation in the things that are going on in your life right now, it'll make it easier for you to appreciate that form of success that you get whenever it may come. But these forms of temporary dissatisfaction, because you're not necessarily where you want to be, should do nothing more than motivate you. It should do nothing more than put you in that state of mind where it's like, man, I really got to keep going. I really got to keep grinding. I really got to stay locked in, because I know that it's coming. I don't know when, but I know that it's coming. And aside from the value in the small wins, just understand that there's so much value in anything that you do on a daily basis. All of the small things make you and your character. The things that you're deciding to do, whether it's, what you do for leisure time, as far as productivity, these all amount to who you be. Your habits are what define your identity. And these are something that we have to pay close attention to, because if you want to reach that version of success that you want to reach, you got to change your identity. You got to work on your habits. You got to work on transforming yourself into that person that you know is destined for success. And it all starts with everything small. It starts with the things that you may overlook. It starts with the things that you may feel are insignificant. I didn't understand how much, this is just a side note, by the way, but I didn't understand how much of an impact that having, let's just say, vulgar language had on my overall character until I started doing this. Until I started actually being in a position where I could speak to people and not have to use profanity. But it's the small things like that that make up the bigger picture. And I'm just here to let you know today that you really do got to dig deep and change the small things within your life to reach that point of success, because it's going to make the biggest difference ever. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.